Hello guys, Jose Rodriguez here. In this video I'll show you how can you install a new extension on your Postgres or on a Postgres database. Okay? The extension that we are going to install today is PGVector. Okay, an extension that allows us to store a vector database on our Postgres server. Okay? Depending on the operating system you're working with, um, there are different ways you can install this extension. Okay, for example, if you're using a Linux server like me, you can either clone the repo or use GitHub or any other of these options. Okay, the one that for the purpose of this video I will use the apt option. Okay, so let's access this link here, and as you can see, Debian and Ubuntu packages are available from the PostgreSQL apt repository. Okay, and you just need to run sudo apt install postgresql dash the version of PostgreSQL you are running on your server dash PGVector. Okay, so let me copy this and then let's go to our Ubuntu server. Okay, let's validate first what is the PostgreSQL version that we are running here. Okay, so I'm going to change my user first. I'm going to start a new login for the user Postgres. Okay, and then I'm going to start. There are different ways you can get the version. One way is to just start the PostgreSQL service, PSQL, and as you can see, we have the version here. Okay, so we are working with version 16. Okay, so that's the number that we need to use when we run this command here. Okay, instead of 17, in my case I'll use 16. Okay, so let me exit this, so I'm gonna paste the command sudo apt, and I need to change this. Instead of 17, we know that we are working with version 16. Okay, perfect. So just let me hit enter here. Okay, so it was installed correctly. Okay, now I guess I'm getting this message because I already installed this before, but in your case you may get more lines than this. Okay, so now that we just install the extension, now we need to enable it. Okay, and according to the GitHub repo, if you scroll down here, okay, where is it? I think it's, oh, my bad. Here, I was just, this was for apt documentation. Okay, so whenever you are trying to enable this extension, you need to run this command on in each database where you want to use it. Okay, so as we reviewed it in our previous videos, okay, let me access again the Postgres user. Okay, let me start the PSQL service again. So if we do -L, we can see all the databases. Okay, these three databases, Postgres, template 0, template 1, were created by default when we installed a PostgreSQL. Okay, let's hit Q, and if we want to validate what is our current database, we can do select current underscore database, and then don't forget the semicolon at the end. So right now we are working with this database, okay, which was created by default. So what we are going to do now is we are going to create a new database, and then we are going to enable the extension for this database. So to create a new database, first, whenever you install PostgreSQL, the Postgres user does not have, or yeah, it doesn't have a password set for this account. So what we are going to do first is we are going to define a new password for the Postgres user. Okay. So we're gonna do alter user. Okay, and it's Postgres, and we are going to define a new password, and using single or double quotation marks, you can just run whatever password you want to use. In this case, for my local server, I'm going to use like this, password. Okay, don't forget the semicolon at the end, and then hit enter. Nice. So now we have a new password. So, now what we are going to do is create a new database. Okay, so we are going to do create database, and then the name for our database. I'm going to use sysmon logs database dv. Okay, don't forget the semicolon at the end. Okay, and to validate that this database was created correctly, you can do again \l, and as you can see, here's our new database. Okay, now how can we let me see, how can we change our current database, because right now we are working on Postgres, so we are accessing the Postgres default database. We need to access the sysmon underscore logs underscore dv, I'm sorry, db database. Okay, see how can we do this. Let's double check. Okay, so apparently what we can do is, let's go back to the terminal, just hit the Q key. Okay, and what we can do is we can run \c. Okay, so we do, I guess that stands for connect, \c and the name of the database. Okay, let me show you really quick. Oh yeah, I show you here. Right now we are working on Postgres, so now what we are going to do is change our database, \c for that stands for connect, and the name of the database. Okay, space sysmon logs db. Okay, hit enter. Okay, we got this message. We are now connected to this database as the user Postgres. Okay, again, if you want to validate that you are connected to this database, you can just run select current underscore database, and don't forget the semicolon at the end. Okay. Oh, I forgot to open and close parentheses here. Okay, so now we are connected to the sysmon logs db database. Okay, so we modify the password for the Postgres user. Okay, and this is just for security reasons. We created our database, and now we are accessing, we connected to the database, as you can see here. Okay, now we can enable the extension. Okay, remember that we need to run this command, create extension vector and the semicolon for each on each database. Okay, in this case I only have one, so I need to run this only one time. So let me copy this, and here we're gonna do this, create extension vector semicolon. Okay, enter. And if you want to get a list of the extensions that are installed for this specific database, you can just run \dx. And as you can see, for this database, there are two extensions that have been installed for it. The first one is the default one, okay? And now we have the vector extension here, as you can see, available for this database. Okay, perfect. So that's nice. In our next video, I'll show you, now that we have the database, now that the extension is installed and enabled, we are going to start creating or storing our information in vector format. Okay, I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you.